I had
Wow.
been in retreat up near Milarepa's cave in Yolmo, 3 days walk north of the Kathmandu Valley. And when I came back there, I had learned enough Tibetan, both for literary and spoken, that I could translate for Chogyam Rinpoche.
Mm. Yeah.
But then one day he talked a lot about the phrase Rangjong Yeshe
Mm. Yeah.
and the meaning of it. And I had learned what the meaning was. It was Rangjong means existing by itself, and
Mm.
Yeshe, some kind of state of mind that the Buddhas have. So I said, yeah, I know what it means. And then he leaned a little forward and he said, do you really know what it means? And then I must have looked kind of unsure because I didn't really know. I knew the superficial meaning, but not the real meaning from experience. And then he said, I think you need to see my father. And then
Mm.
that was the first time I heard him say that his father was an expert on that level.
Mm.
So he gave me a letter he wrote and said to take this in your hand, otherwise the nun will not let you in to see him because
Mm.
he's still in 3-year retreat. But I think we can make one exception.
Wow. Wow. So Rinpoche was in 3-year retreat, but you were able to meet with Rinpoche. How
Mhm.
special. So what was that? Please
The,
tell us.
the nun guarding the gate, so to speak, she lit a lot of incense and fumigated me all over as if I was infected with the pest. And and then I was allowed in begrudgingly.
It reminds me a little bit of story of Naropa meeting the Dakini saying, "Do you know what the meaning of this is?"
Yeah, yeah.
But do you really know the meaning? And sending
Mhm.
Naropa to find Talopa. How interesting. So then you were allowed in after a fumigation process,
Yes.
and Rinpoche was there. Tell us what that meeting was like, if you could.
Actually didn't want to talk about it to anybody, but Chogyam Rinpoche has given me not just permission, but he said you have to tell exactly what happened there so that it can be inspiring for other people. So
Yes.
this is the first time I actually tell it publicly. I've written it down before, but I haven't said it. I was uh, under the pretext of being the interpreter for an American friend, Bruce. So he was sitting in front of me, and I was sitting right behind him, looking into his neck. And Tulku Orjin was in his box in front of Bruce.
Mm.
But whenever Tulku Orjin spoke, I had to do like this in order to see him because the ledge was kind of narrow. And then at some point, Tulku Orjin was just speaking to me and didn't give me time to translate for Bruce. Um, I don't know why, but it happened like that. And then Tugurden said, you need to look this way towards your own mind. You cannot see Buddha nature by looking the other way. Like we're always, when we listen to sounds or uh, look at the scenery, it's always somewhere else. But he said, stop that now. Let that which pays attention or observes or is aware, let that awareness look towards itself.
Mm.
And that kind of struck a big fear in me. So all of a sudden, he jumped out of his meditation box and came over to where I was sitting, and he put his face right in front of me, like this far, and then he tapped me on the back of my neck at the same time, and he said, "Look here. Not don't look at me. Look to the back of your head." And I thought, how? The eyes cannot turn around. So this becomes impossible. And he said, look here. And then I started to laugh a little bit. I wouldn't say hysterically, but very shy. And I tried to cover it up with laughing. He said, "Stop laughing. Look here." And he tapped me again at the back of the head. And then all of a sudden, it kind of everything fell apart. And this mind that had been hiding from itself since before I was born, like again and again, evading the knowing of itself. It totally collapsed. And then I almost couldn't speak. And it lasted like that for 3 days, no words, just completely open mind in all directions. In the scriptures, they use the example of a flame in a windless night. Just a flame, totally quiet and lucid. And that was a strong blessing of his. And he had that impact, not just on me, but on many people. He would continue until this thick coconut shell had broken open. And that was his great, you can say, sport.
Yeah.
He wanted people to understand, and he would keep teaching until they did.
Wow.
I've only translated 2 times for people where he didn't succeed in bringing them face to face with the nature of mind, not necessarily in the same way, but with some glimpse.
What an incredible master. Thank you for sharing that. That is very inspiring. It gave me goosebumps, actually. Amazing. So this lasted for 3 days, you said? You were in this space
Yes.
for 3 days?
And then it slowly tapered off, and normal confusion took over again.
Yeah. And you said that this mind was hiding from itself almost. Like this is one of the things that you sort of saw, is that it's available but hidden in a way, and it's hiding itself. Is that what you said?
Yeah, it's you could call it self-perpetuating ignorance.
Self-perpetuating